my first impressions of the Google Pixel 6 Pro in 2022. Now, of course, the Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel 7 are the newest and latest addition from Google. But I'm going to say this, and I don't have that phone, but I don't think it's that much of an upgrade from this device. Now, of course, this device came out last year, and I think it's good. I think it's a really, really good phone. I don't think you'll have to upgrade if you have this already. Or if you're coming from a Pixel 4 and you're thinking about upgrading either to this or the 7 Pro, I would say get this because you can actually find this for under $500. Yes, on Amazon, under $500. So I think this is definitely a good catch. Now, to me also, I like the design of this better than the 7 Pro. I like that it's dark and you can't really see the cameras unless you're, putting it in a certain light. I just like this design better than that aluminum bar they got on the newer one. I just don't like that. I like this one better. But that's just my opinion. But now I know some people, and I don't think most people, but every now and then somebody will get on and say, oh, this guy, he always reviewed things a year late. I'm not a year late, okay? I had no interest in this device, honestly. I really didn't. But I got a really good deal on it, and I don't dislike Pixel phones. They just are kind of boring for me based on the other devices that I have. They have tons and tons of more features. And sometimes Google will put something real nice on the device. Then the next device, they take it away. And I don't understand it. But anyway, great deal on this. And I wanted to check it out. Now, I don't still have to keep the device. I mean, I got it from Amazon renewed. So I can have this up to, 90 days. And I can return it and get my full refund. So it ain't like I have to keep it. But I wanted to check it out. Now, most people, when a device comes out, everybody rushes to get it because it's the newest, it's the latest, it's the greatest. And that makes sense for some people, not me, especially with most phones, because now I think Google's been the one that's struggling with this the most lately. It's like every time they bring out their flagship device, there's always so many bugs and issues with it. That's why, to me, I think it's better when something first comes out, just give it time and wait for them to work all those bugs and all them kinks out, then grab it. Unless they come out with such a good deal on it that you can't say no, then that's a different story. But to me, I like to wait because stuff always has all of these, when new devices come out, they always have these bugs and all these issues. And I'd rather them to work all the kinks out, then I'll check it out. If I feel like it's gotten better, because I watch a lot of videos on phones, 3 months later, 6 months later, a year later. I just think it's important now, if you're just in a hurry to get something because you just have to have something new and it's a particular phone that you want, then I understand that. But if you already have a device and you're interested in a new device and you just want to hold off because you want to wait and see, because the price is always going to drop too, but you want to wait and see they work all the kinks out of it, I think that's the best thing to do. Because think about this, under $500 for this device, and it looks and it runs like brand new. And you know what else that Amazon gave you that Google won't even give you? They put a charger in the box. Now, is it a 30-watt charger that goes with the phone? No, but it's still a charger nonetheless. So the fact is, I get the device and I can actually charge it. So kudos to Amazon for putting a charger in the box, unlike the company that actually makes the device. Now, I know for some of you out there, you don't care. Oh, it don't matter. They take the charger out of the box. You can just buy a charger and, it's fine. No, it's not fine. To spend $900, almost $1,000 on a device, and you can't give me a charger? No, that should at least be an option. Like, they should put an option. If you want the charger, click the box. If you don't, then don't click the box. And I guarantee you, most people are going to want the charger. Especially if it's sporting 30-watt charging, you want the charger. I don't understand why people is okay to say, You know, it doesn't matter that the company don't give me a charger. It doesn't matter they don't give me headphones. It don't matter if they don't give me a case. It don't matter if they keep taking away features. You know, it's okay. It's just the trend. And be okay with it. Well, I'm one of those people, I'm not okay with it. I'm just not. And the fact that they gave me a charger makes it just makes everything a whole lot better. Now, of course, should it come with headphones and a case? Of course. But at least I can charge the thing. So it matters to me. Now, I didn't really mean to get into all that and get into some kind of rant, but I'm just trying to make a point. These things should matter to the consumer. And the only way they're going to change this is to get into the comment section or get on Google's website and let them know, listen, we want a charger in the box. We want headphones. We want a case. We want value for our money. The consumer is the one that holds all the power when it comes to these companies. But if you just keep accepting everything they give you, they're going to keep doing this and they're going to get worse. They're going to keep charging you more money, but giving you less. So I digress. But my first impressions of this phone when I took it out of the box, and like I said, I've watched a lot of videos on this device over the past year. And, you know, initially when I saw it, I did not like this design, but it wasn't that long before it actually grew on me. And I actually like it a lot. I mean, compared to the 4, compared to the Pixel 4 XL, which I have, this is I really like this design a lot. It really caught my eye. Now, I did want to get a different color, but the one that I wanted wasn't available for the price. But this is okay. The stealthy black, you know, is cool. But I really like this design a lot. And the next thing I like is the build quality. The build quality is so premium. Now, the Pixel 4 XL's build quality is very good too. Matter of fact, it has a matte finish, which is actually better than this because this has a glossy back, which, you know, you can see fingerprints and stuff like that, which I don't like. But just the overall build quality, the way it feels great. And I like this nice boxy shape. Now, it does have, you know, some rounded corners, so it's not quite as boxy as my Note 20 Ultra. But it's still boxy. I like that boxy shape. I love this camera bar. I like the way it feels. I like the thickness of it. I like the weight of it. I love the build quality and the design of this phone. And of course, you got the fingerprint sensor. Now, Google, now with the Pixel 4 XL, there was no fingerprint sensor. It was just face unlock. And I didn't like that at all because I'm used to using a fingerprint sensor to open my devices. So when that phone first got released, I really did not like the fact that there was no fingerprint sensor. And to me, there was fingerprint sensor on the previous Pixel. So I don't know why they removed that. But then they did the opposite. They gave you the fingerprint sensor back on the 6 Pro, but then they took away face unlock, which makes no sense. Why would you take away face unlock? That's such a basic feature on phones. I mean, even $200 phone, $150 phones have face unlock. So it doesn't make any sense why they removed that, but they did put it back on the 7 Pro. But even with that, they're saying that it doesn't work well in low light. So it really isn't a win, honestly, because you should be able to use your face unlock in any type of lighting conditions. That's the way Samsung and other companies have it, where you could literally open up your phone using face unlock in complete darkness, which it should be, especially for a phone that's almost $1,000. But anyway, you do got the fingerprint sensor. I don't really like the way that looks. That looks really blah. It's so small and teeny, and it just don't look like nothing. But I will say this. This is one of the biggest issues people had with this device when it was first released was the fingerprint sensor was so buggy and you had to put your hand and hold it, or people just wanted to tap and you couldn't. And some people didn't have a problem with it, but most people, you know, reviews that I saw, they were having major problems with the fingerprint sensor. But I have good news for you people that are considering this device in 2022. They fixed it. Whatever it is they did, they fixed it. As you can see, it's just tap, literally. You see it opens right up. No tapping and holding, just literally tap. Now I got some coconut butter on my finger, so if you see it like not taking every time, that's the only reason, because I have that on my finger. And it's probably the way I'm holding the phone. But you can see it's just tap and hold. This thing actually works faster than my Note 20 Ultra. I'm serious. You see how fast this thing is opening up? I mean, whatever they did, however many updates they pushed, they fixed it so you don't have to buy the 7 Pro in order to have a good fingerprint sensor on your Pixel device. The 6 Pro fingerprint sensor, it works flawlessly right now. And that's a word that I got from my man Flossie Carter. It worked. I'm telling you, it worked. It's excellent. I have no issues with the fingerprint sensor. But on top of that, you're getting a Quad HD Plus Amoled display, which is absolutely beautiful. High pixel density. I just love this display. It's beautiful. Now, we all know it's a Samsung display, so you know it's going to look nice. You know, it still doesn't beat out the display on my Note 20 Ultra, but it's beautiful nonetheless. I love it. You know, LTPO display, 120 hertz refresh rate. I love that. 512 pixels per square inch. It's beautiful. It's bright. I got it at 100% brightness because that's the way I like my devices. Okay. Now, not the brightest display that I have, but, you know, I say this. Most of the time when I'm using my devices, I'm not outside. So it being the brightest to be outside is not a big deal for me because my job, I work indoors. And most of the time I'm indoors, whether I'm home, whether I'm in my car, or whether I'm at my job, you know, driving my train, I'm always indoors. I'm very seldom, you know, I hardly ever use my phone outside because when I'm outside, usually I want to be aware of my surroundings. I don't want to be so caught up in my phone, so I'm not paying attention to anything, you know, things that are going on around me. So when I'm walking back and forth to my car, whether I'm walking back and forth to my job or walking in my house, my phone is in my pocket. So it's bright enough for me because, like I said, most of the time I'm indoors. Now, you do get your always on display, which is okay, but you can't customize it at all. So I'm not the biggest fan. I do like sometimes it goes to that really big numbers display, but it won't stay like that. Like that's not an option for you to keep it like that. It'll go from that to this, from this to that. So at least it has it. So I am glad that it does have a face always on display. Now, I like the fact that it's IP68 water and dust resistant. So no problems with that. Don't have to worry about any water damage whatsoever. No dust damage and nothing like that. This thing has dual stereo speakers, which are decent. And I'll get into more, you know, when I do my full review. But it does have dual stereo speakers. Now, they're not front facing like they used to be on older Google devices. But they sound pretty decent. You also get that 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which so far the battery life has been very impressive. Very impressed. I mean, very impressed with the battery life. So the 5,000 milliamp hour battery is not just numbers. It's the real deal so far. Now, this comes with 30-watt fast charging. To me, it's just numbers because this thing takes literally 2 hours to fully charge from 5% to 100%. So 30-watt charging is a joke. I mean, it's just not fast. It's just not. Okay. There's no way in the world a phone in 2021 should be taking 2 hours to fully charge. That's ridiculous. And that's how slow it is. So this is not one of them type of phones that, you know, you get home from work and you want to charge it up real quick before you go out and you only got 30 minutes to come home, take a shower, get dressed and leave. And you think you're going to get a bunch of charge with this? Not going to happen. Okay. The good thing is the battery life on here is so good. You're not going to have to worry about coming home and then throwing it on the charger before you go out. I mean, you're going to easily get through a full day with this. So that's not going to be a problem. But that 30-watt charging is just numbers and it's a joke. Also, 23-watt fast wireless charging is even slower than the wired, of course. And you do got the 4.5-watt reverse wireless charging, which I had to mention because it has it on. Because it has it on it. All right. Now, for the first time, Google decided to build their own processor. So you got that Tensor chip in here. And so far, it operates real good. It doesn't really operate any different than the Snapdragon, in my opinion. The thing I have noticed, though, sometime when I'm using this phone a little heavy, sometimes it can get really warm. And I don't remember experiencing that with the Pixel 4 XL, you know, with the Snapdragon. But every now and then it does, you know, it does heat up, especially when you're, you know, when you're doing other things on it. Now, I'm always having my brightness at 100%, but other phones that I have, it's not an issue, but there are times when this thing gets pretty warm. Now, I had this phone previously, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I was going to do my first impressions of it, but the phone was heating up so badly, even when I wasn't even using it really. I just kind of picked it up, was going to use it, and it felt hot, like not just warm, but it felt hot. So I'm like, I don't need this phone giving me any major issues, so I just sent it back to Amazon. And I wasn't sure if I was going to re-get it, you know, turn around and get it again to check it out. But I'm going to give it another chance. So far, it has heated up a few times, but for the most part, it's been cool, no issues. So that's the reason why I decided to try it again. Now, you also get, along with that Tensor chip, it's already using Android 13, and it's going to be upgradable to Android 15. And then you're going to get, what is that? 4 more years of security updates. So this phone is going to be good for a while. So you're the type of person that don't upgrade all the time, and you're looking for a decent phone, and you want it to last, and you want to know that you're going to get OS supports and also security patches. This is that device. You're not going to have to worry about it. Excuse me. 12 gigs of RAM is on board, which is a good thing. Now, this also comes with 128 gigs of internal storage. Of course, no expandable storage. Now, there is a 256 gig variant and a 512 gig variant, which is good for those of you that need more storage. And I know there's people like me that's out there that you prefer something either 256 or 512. Now, me, I prefer 512, but because I'm just not the biggest Pixel fan, and I got other devices that got expandable storage, so I didn't need this to have 256 or 512. I just took the 128 and I'm good with it. But if you're the kind of person that needs more storage, of course, there are 2 other variants of this device available to you. Of course, they're going to cost you a little bit more money. Bluetooth 5.2, NFC, and of course, the part that most people like is the cameras. Now, the cameras, it has 3 cameras on the back. You got a 50 megapixel wide dual pixel with laser autofocus with optical image stabilization. And you got a 48 megapixel telephoto lens and 4 times optical zoom. And you're also getting a 12 megapixel ultra wide with digital zoom 20 times. No, I'm sorry. On the telephoto, you could zoom in 20 times. That's the max. 4 times optical, excuse me. And you got the 12 megapixel ultra wide. That gives you, the 12 megapixel ultra wide. So sorry for the screw up. I'm just getting tongue tied here. Sorry for that. So you got the 50 megapixel wide with laser autofocus, 48 megapixel telephoto, and the 12 megapixel ultra wide on the rear. Of course, you got dual, LED flash, stuff like that. Now, with the video, there's no 8K recording, which shouldn't be a big deal for most people because most people don't have anything to, watch an 8K recording on, And also, keep in mind with the 8K recording, if it's 24 frames, it's not going to be very smooth. It's going to be pretty unstable, and it's going to take up a lot of space on your device, especially if you get the 128 gig version that like I have here. So I don't care that it doesn't have 8K recording. It's not a big deal. But it does have 4K at 60 and 1080p at 60. Now, with the front camera, you got 11 megapixel ultra wide. And I looked at the ultra wide, and it's definitely wider than your average selfie. So I do like the fact how wide it is, especially if you're the type of person who want to take selfie and you want to take with multiple people in the picture. You're going to be able to do it with this device, no problem. It also shoots 4K at 30. Now, no 4K at 60. I don't understand that, especially for a flagship. Every flagship standard should come with 4K at 60 on the front and the back. So I don't know why these companies make these phones that are supposed to be flagship devices cost over $1,000 or just under, and there's no 4K at 30. I mean, no 4K at 60 on the front. Doesn't make any sense to me. But you can shoot at 4K at 30 and 1080p at 60. Now, what's missing for me on here, and I mentioned it, and these are not going to be a big deal to most people anymore. Still a big deal to me, but not to most. No expandable storage, which the Pixel has never had expandable storage, which I never liked that about them. No face unlock, which I don't like, and no headphone jack, which most people don't care about these days, except for a few of us. But my impressions is I'm impressed. because I love the design. I love the build quality. Now, I don't like the button placement. I think it's stupid to have the power button above the volume rockers. The power button should be here. I think that's stupid button placement. But other than that, I love the design, love the build quality. Love the display. The fingerprint sensor is on point. The speakers are decent. The battery life is really good so far. And, you know, everything is running real smooth and nice right now. So I'll get back to you guys in a couple weeks and give you my full review. Of course, you already know the cameras on here are going to be A1. They're going to take phenomenal pictures. But I'm going to, you know, take it out, take some pictures with it, and then let you see. But that's one thing Pixel is known for, you know, Google devices, is the photos. The photo quality is always top notch. Now, you don't have a whole lot of, say, modes like you do with Samsung and Xiaomi, but this is one of them type of devices that's just point and shoot. If you're the type of person that's not heavily into photography, you just want to pick up your phone and just take a picture and don't worry about it. You don't need pro mode. You don't need all of these, you know, 1001 modes that you may not even use. You just want to point and shoot. This is that phone, because this is one of the top phones when it comes to camera quality on the market. Now, for me, the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra is better than this. And I can say that because I have the Mi 11 Ultra. The video and the photos, in my opinion, are better than this. But I'm sure these are going to be top notch, no doubt about it. Now, of course, I'm going to compare this device to other devices that I have in my arsenal. So I'll do that after I do my full review. But that was my first impressions of the Google Pixel 6 Pro in 2022. So I hope you guys, I do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this content. Please leave me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. All right, you guys take care, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.